Welcome, everybody, to this week's weekly newsletter with Financial Freedom with Dr. Lou. And I want to welcome you guys to a Happy New Year. This episode is being streamed by StreamYard. And wherever you are, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, please hit the like, share, comment, subscribe so that it'll help the algorithm and help the channel grow. And with that, I also want to thank all our sponsors, affiliates, partners for helping to put on the show. And today's newsletter is going to be all about the power of branding. So I just, over the New Year's, I went to Universal Studios with friends and family and hung out with family to ring in the new year. And so what struck me during this trip is this idea of the power of branding. And I'm really excited for what this year has to offer. I'm really excited about growing and expanding my business and learning more, contributing more, helping more. So in today's age, we have to understand the power of a brand. And a brand is, for example, the most recognizable brands in the world include Nike, Coke, Starbucks, McDonald's, especially in the media entertainment business. There's Marvel, Disney, DC. In tech, it's Apple, Google, Meta. And so a lot of athletes, movie stars, celebrities, musicians, artists understand the power of brand, and they're able to leverage this to amass, millions of followers, millions of dollars, sometimes hundreds of $1 millions in sales, sometimes billions as well. And they continue to stick around long enough with the power of brand. And the reason why these companies have stuck around for so long is that they have extremely powerful brand recognition. So in today's age, the best defense against economic calamity, uncertainty, disruption, whatever is happening in the world, technology, competition, having a strong brand is like a moat. And Warren Buffett describes this really brilliantly. He says that a brand is a really powerful economic moat. So nobody can replicate Coke. You have, for example, you have Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, all these are brands that try to replicate what Coke has, and they do compete on the level of Coke, but they can never replace Coke. And same thing with, for example, Adidas. If you think about the high-end brands such as, Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, all of these brands cater to extremely wealthy, high net worth individuals. So a brand is basically what you stand for. It's your vision, your values, what you believe in, and how you represent those components in either a superior product, service. It can be a software, it can be technology, it could be innovation, something in that realm. So brand is actually very powerful because it's your intellectual property, and from there you can use it to monetize it via various ways. For example, royalties could be merchandising, ticket sales, could be labels, all sorts of different ways. With a powerful brand, you also have loyal followings in the millions. And the most notable example is that if you look at, for example, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all these or these product launches, product releases, people in the past, people would stay up all night. They would wait in line in the freezing cold. Sometimes they would camp out, pay thousands of dollars to support their brands and communities who they love. And big companies really understand this, and so they pour billions of dollars into marketing, advertising, promotionals to promote this brand awareness. And it's why advertising, sponsorships, brand partnerships are so valuable. If at a scalable level, professional athletes understand this. For example, with the Super Bowl, a 30-second ad is costs, tens of millions of dollars. And celebrities, athletes all understand this. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. What's also known about a brand is what your customers and loyal followers say about you. It's your reputation and what you stand for. Ways of monetizing a brand: you can monetize it through tickets, merchandise, movies, songs, royalties, intellectual property, or any form of content associated with your intellectual property. So that's what a brand is, and that's why we really, in today's age, we need to create distinct, reputable brands. For example, I'm in the financial uh, literacy education services. So I'm a media and consulting company, and I help other physicians understand what financial literacy is, how to get their finances in order, how to achieve financial freedom so that they can go on and live the lives that they want to live. And it's actually one of the best ways of ensuring against, for example, job loss or hospital closures, COVID, all these types of disruptions. Moving into that was kind of Web 1, Web 2 type of brands, but a new type of brand is emerging. It's called a Web 3 brand. So I'll tell you what Web 2 is. So basically, Web 2 is the era of legacy Web 2 companies, including YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All these are kind of the legacy Web 2 platforms. There's newer platforms, but they're still Web 2. So, for example, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of these different types of Web 2 platforms allow creators to leverage social media, create a strong brand, create a following. And it's what allowed podcasting, blogs, authors, professional speakers, and other types of influencers to build out the brand, monetize it. The problem with this is Web 2 is very centralized. So, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of these platforms, they own everything. And you're renting your audiences. So you have no control. And they're changing the algorithms. You can get hacked, you can get scammed, impersonated. So that's why with Web 3, building a brand in Web 3 is completely different, because Web 3, you're going to have a direct creator to consumer interaction, and it's going to be through technology such as non-fungible tokens. It's going to be through Web3 wallets. It's going to be conducted in the metaverse, in virtual reality, augmented reality. Gaming is going to be a huge component. And how you build out a brand in Web 3 is going to be completely different than Web 2. So basically, we're eliminating middlemen, and right now creators are flocking to services such as OpenAI's ChatGPT-3, DALL-E 2, Jasper. All of these are going to be hugely important as creators build brands in Web 3. And so the next companies that survive in the next era will have to incorporate creators, Web3, non-fungible tokens, blockchain technology. And I want to point out some great case examples so that you can check them out. So one is Gary Vee. You can check him out. He's created his VFriends collection. It's a non-fungible token. You can buy it on OpenSea, but it gives you access to his VCon, his annual conference, where he talks about content creation, influencers, creating powerful brands. He's also the Flyfish Club as well. He's creating all these different ways of engaging his consumer audience, also through merchandise, and it's going to be really interesting. So follow Gary Vee if you want to know what Web3 is. Another case in point is Yuga Labs. So the way I analogize Yuga Labs is very similar to Disney. So Disney, you have basically Disney bought out a lot of the bought out Marvel, Pixar, a lot of the other media companies, and they created a unique brand around it. They have Disneyland, Disney World, all over the world. They have merchandise, they have movies, tickets, everything. And so this is Yuga Labs is what I analogize as the Disney of Web3. So some of the first notable brands in the Web3 area include, for example, and again, this is not financial advice, this is just examples, and I'm not advocating for any sort of you putting your money into anything. I'm just trying to educate you and inform you. So Board Ape Yacht Club, which is, basically it's a community of people that hold pictures of apes. Some of these are worth hundreds and thousands. Some of them are in the millions. Again, this type of behavior is speculative, but you have to understand what the underlying technology and utility of it is. Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Board Ape Kennel Club, Meebits, CryptoPunks, all of these, and they've also created a non-fungible token called the Other Side, which is basically you own land in the metaverse controlled by the Yuga Labs. So what does all of this mean? One is the speculative part, which I strongly advise against because there's a lot of scams and bad actors and frauds and all of that. The next era is how Yuga Labs and how creators, if you own non-fungible tokens for these notable brands, you have the intellectual property rights to create, for example, merchandise. You can write books, you can write stories, you can create movies. So that's the really promising utility of Web3. So these brands will no doubt give rise to Web3 movies, books, stories, games, merchandise, and other forms of intellectual property in the future. I want to end by this. And I really enjoyed talking about this because this is where the future is. And the power of building a meaningful brand is that it's now more powerful than ever in the business sense. Companies, as you can see, can get wiped out overnight from business and economic cycles, other competitors, regulation, disruption, and other black swan tail events. But the companies that stand the test of time have the strongest and most powerful brands. Brands cannot be replicated or copied. It is your own intellectual property. So keep that in mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is all for education, informational purposes, to help inspire you, motivate you, educate you. So with that, I want to thank again, this episode is streamed by StreamYard. Thank all of our ads, sponsors, affiliates. Do your due diligence, and we will see you next week.